Hey Saints fans, welcome back to the channel. And today, I want to change it up a little bit, as the name of the show would seem to indicate, because honestly, it's really easy to get negative about losing to the Atlanta Falcons. Very easy to be negative about that. But I want to focus on the positives. And one of the positives coming into here is trading for Mark Ingram and now seeing them use him more and more in these past two games and how he affects the game in the run game. And obviously, we're going to take a look at everything. But I really am focusing on Mark Ingram here. You're going to see different styles of blocking that we typically saw a lot of, as well as similar styles, and how that actually affects defenses and how they were affected by, well, having Ingram and Kamara both able to do various things and how they had to account for both of those. And we're going to just look at some various plays starting at the beginning of the game and show you how they're able to have success early on. Now, we know success was able to continue on because, well, the Saints decided to lose this game. But all that aside, I think it's important to get a good idea of how good this team can be and how they actually got better on offense, even though they're still questionable at receiver. We're going to see one of the first carries here. It's actually a fantastic effort by Mark Ingram to make some extra plays happen, or to make extra space happen, because, well, kind of get started a little bit earlier with a little bit of some penetration. But first thing I want to note is look at the stack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is kind of debatable, but we're going to count it. 6, 7, 8, and technically 9 in the box. Now, anytime we talk about the box, we're typically talking inside where the tackles or the tight ends would be. This is a drop-down safety who probably has man-to-man coverage responsibility on the tight end anyway, but we'll not worry about that. We're more focused on numbers. So the Saints have obviously predicted this or prepared for this. They've got a 21 personnel, so they are in 2 running backs. There's your actual fullback, one of the few teams in the NFL that still uses them, and then a tight end here in Adam Trautman. And they're going to run just a simple, a little bit different actually, because we're used to talking about outside zone so much, but you're not going to see outside zone here. You see we got a nice little double team right here at the front. Power, we're blocking out here, and then we need to reach the second level, and Ruiz is not able to do that just because, well, he gets beat by a really good linebacker who beats him to the gap. And that happens sometimes. Then Ingram's doing a good job of fighting through contact to then go and get about an extra 7 yards. But the key here is seeing the differences of what this line is going to show you and provide for you as a unit with different running backs in. That variety is going to help make this team be more well-balanced. And by the way, nice block downfield by Kevin White right there. You see that? That's nice. That's how you make this team. I know it sounds silly, but that one catch probably not get as many applause as that rep right there, because we saw Brandon Coleman make a name for himself. So now we're going to switch to Kamara. We're in 11 personnel, but only 7 people down. See how it changes when we've got one versus the other? And this was pretty common when Ingram was on the team the first time. When they would play together, they would typically see Ingram get a majority of the 8-man boxes, and then Kamara would get generally 6 to 7. Sometimes as low as 5 as a rookie, and that quickly went away. But this makes it easier to block. Now, this play not going to necessarily go as well because of some great individual effort by the Atlanta Falcons, and we'll talk about that. But now you just see this is another outside zone run. So we've changed it back again. We were doing an outside zone before. Then we saw Ingram not doing outside zone. Now Kamara, outside zone. The good thing is both these guys can do whatever they need to do. They can do duo. They can do that man-up power. They can do trap. They can do split zone, outside zone, inside zone. They can do it all. So the initial is actually really good here. This is actually fantastic for the cutback. We talk about the cutback lane all the time for the outside zone. You're going to have a great effort where Hurst loses here, and then Armstead's actually going to not be able to maintain. Not necessarily going to lose, not going to be able to maintain. Now, the initial runs that we talk about what you can do with the outside zone, you want to be able to bounce it up or cut back. So the cutback's the only one here because McCoy ends up losing up front. But that's fine because outside zone, remember, is about movement. We're trying to move guys off the line, move them laterally, and then that moving creates space. Just naturally creates space, and that backside typically opens up. So Kamara makes the plant. He tries to cut up. You see we've got linebacker breaking through, and then we've got, I believe that's Grady Jarrett. Was that Grady Jarrett? Coming through Hurst's block to stop it for a short game. Now, Kamara could have just tried to take on and bust pure outside, but the smart is to get north and south, get guaranteed yards, is up running in and getting a couple. But still, we're okay with that play course, we're seeing diversity. Now, the very next one, we're going to come back to it, and we're going to see Mark Ingram now running outside zone. And look how different it is. Now, granted, we're in 12 personnel, which means 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Now, you also notice extra blocker. Technically, that makes it 13 personnel. So, what did you get? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then once again, creeping down, we basically got 9. This is tough. So, we definitely got to watch our rushing lane to see how it goes. Come through, outside zone block again. We'll see it from the other angle. It's a great job by hitting the hole and then powering forward and running through Grady Jarrett, which Grady Jarrett to me is probably the best defender for the Atlanta Falcons. Definitely the best D lineman. He's really, really underrated. But even if he's not the best player on their defense, he's still really good. So here we go. Natural double teaming form here. Hurst going to move to the next level. Reeves does a good job this time getting to the next level. Ramczyk clearing out. And even though Grady Jarrett gets off Ram's block, it's a great job by Ingram to run through it and keep powering, get a big game. We're going to watch this one more time because I really like this. And I love outside zone, or wide zone as the Saints actually refer to it. It's my favorite style of run blocking. And good job Throckmorton getting downfield down there. But you can see the effectiveness here where we're doing multiple styles and how that's changing up. Even when Atlanta was stacking against the run, the Saints were able to then counter it and match it. Here's another look. Look, man, we got 2 receivers out. Now we're back in 12 personnel. But still, even in 12, look at the numbers they're stacking here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They see Ingram. They stack the box. But it's okay if this line is capable. And this is a split zone run. You get stuff like this. The variety. That is so key for the New Orleans Saints moving forward if they want to have success, because their run game just got much better by adding Ingram, because their second back now can do everything their first back can do. And even if you were running, let's just say that you knew a running back was going to come in like a Devine Exigbo, and you knew that he's really not a threat as a receiver, so you're going to play the run, which is exactly what Atlanta's doing here. Atlanta is playing the run. Look, you do not have this many people in and bring a guy down into the C gap unless you believe this is a running play. That's fine. That's actually okay if you have a guy good enough to run whatever and run through it. This is what they simply didn't have. They had Kamara, and people would come in and just key on Kamara and stop him. Now you can have Ingram on the field and Kamara on the field, and if you stack the box like this, they can still win. So what do they run here? They run split zone. Now, for those that don't know what split zone is, let's do a quick little recover. I decided, look, instead of trying to make y'all go find old videos where I talk about it, we'll just break down individual plays as they happen. So zone we've talked about a lot. Basic idea of zone is we're just trying to get the defense moving in a direction. Inside zone is a 45-degree step and like a one-step zone. Outside zone is more of a wide step. We're all moving as a group in one big direction. Split zone is where we're combining a man element with a zone element. So we're going to zone step all down here. The goal is make it move. But we're going to drag this guy along the back. He's got a man responsibility. So the split zone is combining the elements. The idea is we're going to push everybody up here. We're going to move everybody in this direction. And then if we have that cutback lane right here, we have a man up on the end man on the line of scrimmage. So the EMO loss. I'll even look. EMOLOS. End man on line of scrimmage. So we're going to bring this guy back to clear that out. Get rid of all this. Now let's watch this here, right here. Bam. So you see the basic idea forming? Where did everybody go? See how it jammed everybody inside? But they're all moving over here. There's only one person who seemed to recognize it. Right there. That's the only one. Cut outside. And you overran the heck out of that, Mr. Safety. You actually had a pretty good angle until you overran the snot out of it. It's actually the DB. So he recognizes it because he's following the tight end. But there's the block. You took out the end man on the line of scrimmage. Obviously, the inside zone, there's nowhere to go. Remember, we want with zone to open up multiple lanes. Well, this is all blah. You could have maybe jumped over a leg here. But the smart is cut outside because the end man just got destroyed. And that's what Ingram does. Sees it. And then he doesn't try to go out too wide. He knows he's got Callaway blocking right here. Armstead continuing up his block. Bam. Just run through it. Huge play. This is a varied running attack now simply by adding Ingram. And I'll be honest, I did not know he would be this good coming to the team given his age and contact. I mean, remember, it's been 3 years. He had a really good season as a 1,000-yard rusher in Baltimore. Had a I'd say a strong start with Houston. They just started using them less, and Houston as a team is just kind of going. But this is really different to see. And then you get this. Love this. Getting him in the screen game. Now, this one doesn't obviously work because they flush it out and they see that it's coming. But you know what he can provide as a receiver. So in this very rare instance, apparently, we've only got 7 in the box. Cool. We know we can use a receiver. Now, Hurst isn't able to clear out in time, so that end man, that basically outside guy, Jones, is able to corral it. But the point of it is we're able to do so much more from the backfield standpoint. Now we're just going to go out wide, and we got Kamara down here, and we're not really worried about these plays. So we're just going to skip through, and get back because this one's not anything. Just to make sure. Yeah, because we're focusing on the run game today. All right, we're back in the run game here. Now, we are getting more of a condensed box here, another 8-man box. That's okay. We're in 21 personnel. Remember, 2 running backs, 1 tight end. And we're going to move to our left, another zone run. That's fine. We're just going to keep making it happen, Captain. And this was great with Kamara, is you know what he can do as a receiver, so you don't bring that 9th man down. We're going to move him away. We're not going to bring him down. So you've got an 8-man box kind of on the outside. Ooh, it's a lot of people. But it's 8. Where's that 9th that we had with Mark Ingram? He's not here because we're worried about swing passes and wheel routes and option routes and Texas concepts. So maybe we're not going to play him the same way. Great job by Ruiz to get to the second level. Doesn't get perfect hands-on, but just enough to clear out the lane. And then look on the left side. A good job getting to the second level as well by Hurst. Good job by Hurst getting the second level. He actually gets his hands in. Love that. More of a contact play there. First down. Once again, using zone running, but that's fine. We're changing things up. We're going through it. We're making things happen. We'll take 9-yard runs all day, every day. And then we come heavy with the 21. Now we're in power. Yeah, just give it to the fullback and go up the gut. This running attack is so much better than it was 3 weeks ago, and they weren't bad then. In terms of attempts, they were running as much as anybody else in the league. But this is such a better team now. We got duo. Look, same foot, same shoulder right here. This is just beautiful. Same foot, same shoulder. Plow through it and then get to the next level. Power. This is what we ran when I was in high school. Just run power. Get in there. Know that Trautman's blocking down. And by the way, Trautman has gotten so good as a blocker. He's not Josh Hill level yet, but man, I give him a lot of rag as a receiver, but love that outside shoulder pushing down. We've made it happen. And then Arma just huge run. That's what you get right now. And I'm not saying that they didn't have success before. We know the Saints had running success before Ingram came back, but man, it has really added another layer to this team. Here, another outside zone run. McCoy getting beat again. Doesn't matter because we blocked it well. Who blocked it well? Adam Trautman. I give him hell for when it comes to receiving, but man, he's been blocking solid, getting better as the year went on. So right here, outside zone. I'm sorry, that was Hurst. But McCoy, I called you out. That is on me. My apologies. This is on Hurst getting beat. Outside zone run again. Remember the whole idea. We get everybody moving. We create space. That's what you get. Even with this guy losing, you see movement, space. There's the backside cut lane. Here's where the potential front would be. That's kind of closed off. So the correct read is up the gut. That's the correct read. At the mesh point is what they would call it. Nick Underhill hates when we use that word because it's like, and I agree with him. Why do you call it something different? It's the handoff. Why call it the mesh point? That's just confusing people. So anyway, the read here is, well, this is closed off. Can't go out. Bust up. And then you see that Teron Armstead guy? Look at that Teron Armstead guy real quick, everybody. Blocking two folks. I called this out on the broadcast when it happened. Great job by Trautman to turn out, by the way. This is fantastic. Helps carry the block with Armstead to the inside, then turns out. Picture perfect. Great job. And then look at that. It's not holding. He's let go of that left arm, and he's just kind of getting his shoulder in. That's a great job. Fantastic. This run game is better now because you knew what Kamara could do. But now Kamara is able to do more because this team is a little bit less predictable having a better run unit out there as a whole. And we have another one from the gun. I actually don't mind these, but we're going back to power running. And we know Kamara can do it all. We know Ingram can do it all. So we're using varied looks because we don't want to be predictable. We don't want them to know, hey, when they show this 21 personnel look, we're going to run blitz the B and C gap against the outside zone so we can crush it before it starts. We're not having that today. That is McCoy getting beat that time. But, all right, going back again. This one was one that Kamara actually missed. Kamara missed the cut on this one, but that happens every now and then. I mean, we're not changing the fact that Kamara's an all-pro level player, but he misses the cut on this one. All right, so let's go to the motion. Motion gives us a couple things, but right here, he sticks to the outside, but his blocker, Hurst, has not swapped off. He's trying to cut it out. Well, you can see McCoy is trying to carry. So now there's nobody to carry the second level. This cut lane is wide open. The read, in my opinion, for Kamara should have been on that linebacker and seen him, dedicate himself to that outside gap and then cut it in. So right here at the handoff, I would think that he could see the linebacker is dedicated and he cuts it back. I'm not going to tell Kamara how to play running back. He's way better than I could ever dream of being. There's no lie there. But I do think that he missed the read in terms of cutting it up because of how the linebacker dictated where he was going. Now, he ends up getting positive yards anyway. I mean, you'll take 4-yard gains and stuff. That is a win. That is a W. Eat that W when it comes to the run game. 4 or 5 yards is wins. But you had a big old one right there. That's a big one. All right, we're going to cut this little crazy mesh. I love the read there by Simeon, but get back to the run game. Penalty. Ingram on outside zone. There was a hold there, but still, great read, by the way. And this is another thing. Look at his feet. Look how quickly he makes these cuts for a man his age. This dude's like a few months younger than me is. That's really old for football. Love to see it. All right, now we're going to have to – this is that stupid drive with a billion penalties, so we're going to skip through, okay? We're going to skip through all the penalties because it was rough. It was rough. All right, now we got Ingram out. He's going to come to the outside. Cool. Another pass play. Here we go. Back to the zone running and back to great reads, great run by Kamara. And I think it's a very true correlation that the best running game for Kamara average-wise happens in this type of game, getting Ingram back and getting the offensive line blocking as a unit doing well. Great job by Callaway here downfield. And just overall, I think you're looking at a better unit. But let's look at it from this angle, and we're going to see what they're in 21 again. Yeah, 21 personnel again. Sorry, it's 22 personnel. And they still don't stack the box against Kamara, man. That's got to be some serious fear. Oh, it's Ingram. My bad. We move on to the next play already. It's like, wow. I thought we were still in the last one. So we're in 22. Who gets beat up front? I bet it's Grady Jarrett. Oh, it's a great double team split. Woo! He didn't make the play, but man, that's a fantastic split of a double team. Watch that. Remember we talk about this all the time. See that? This is picture perfect, and I want to use this. I'm going to give Grady Jarrett some credit here because I talk about it all the time, how I wanted our run defense to get better. Remember we've talked about that in other film studies. Splitting the double team, this is perfect. Lock out the leg, drop the knee, attack the inside shoulder. Grady Jarrett nails it here. He is essentially eating up this entire set of 2 gaps. Wrecked them. They're gone. You can't go anywhere. Filled, no movement. Picture perfect technique for splitting the double team. It goes nowhere. Actually ends up basically, yeah, he does split Hurst and them. And McCoy has a little bit of a trouble going with his one-on-one, but man, I just got to give props when I see great defensive line play. This split that is exactly what you do. And look at the force that he attacks with the torque. He attacks that inside shoulder of the guard to split it. That is just so good. So good. Woo! Man, I know I should be complimenting the Atlanta Falcons, but man, I got to give credit to good play when I see it. And that was just great freaking play. There's the 4th down drop by Trotman. Let's look at that real quick. Wide open. In the hands. Get off my screen. Moving on. Get a little movement here. Love to see some 12 personnel. It's like a weird delayed handoff. Like just everybody was slow off the line on that one. But let's look at it one more time. What's in 4-yard gains? We'll take those all day long. Ingram, get you 4 yards a run. That's obviously what we want because if you do that 3 times, first down every time. We'll take it. Playing the numbers. Crash down. See how that double team is not near as good? We were just comparing Grady Jarrett. See how that knee's not locked down? We don't have the hip locked out, and you actually get movement from Throckmorton? That's what we're talking about. And that's why Ingram's able to get some movement here and actually get 4 yards because that gap moved. And technique, that's, I hate to give Falcons credit, but heck, good play by Grady Jarrett. All right, moving on to the next. There's another one that hits him in the hands that goes nowhere. I was really getting frustrating. And then we get down here, and that's, at least you know you can do this with Ingram, but yikes. All right. 3-by-1 set. We got Ingram and Kamara on the field at the same time. Love this play. Just hate the the lack of openness, and we have to throw it away. But I love the design. 3-ball-1. We got Ingram on the left, Kamara on the right. We got Kamara running a little option that never really gets open. You got Ingram on the other side. But people were asking, when are you going to get both of them on the field together? Well, we did, and you start to see these type of plays, and this is probably more common as we go on. Here's another one. Play action. We're going to leak Ingram out the middle. Bam. Catch a pass. Trautman getting blocks in. Ingram fighting for yards. You weren't getting this from anybody else, and that's not an assault on Tony Jones Jr. or, Devine Exigbo or anybody, but this is something that Ingram is bringing that nobody else was bringing to the team right now. So it's really, really good to see. We have motion. Going to have a little zone run here. Doesn't really get anywhere, but I think you all have seen the point that we were making. There's some good plays. Ruiz not able to get any traction there. They're going to do the opposite run. Basically the same thing from the opposite side. Great cut up field. Great job by Ingram. And knowing that you could use your second guy like this. Let's see how that box is stacked. Yeah, get them hands on them hips. You tired. Cut up field. Love it. Loves the read. Breaks in. Push that shoulder into the linebacker. I'll take that, Mark Ingram. I'll take that. What we got here? That's a good one. Take our first down. What we got on the next play? Oh, that was that big roll boot. Yeah. I wish Taysom had a little bit more depth here. So we're going to roll, and the idea is Taysom. So the design of this play, anytime you have these type of boots, I'm going to make it prettier. We've left the run game now. Anytime you have these type of boots, you're always taught as a quarterback, you want to hit the shortest man on the level. And you're clearing out here. You got a deep backside that you generally never want to touch because there's always guys in the middle of the field. It's basically a one route concept, but you can hit the others if you're really confident. But you got rerouted here. It's a great job by Atlanta to reroute Taysom. Taysom's supposed to be about right here heading upfield. Instead, he's back here because he got rerouted. And that ruins the entire play. And Taysom tries to move up, but by that time it's too late. And it's a good job by Atlanta's defense to do that and recognize this. So watch Taysom coming through, and then bam! That's Grady Jarrett. Of course it is. So that probably would have been a 6, 7, 8-yard gain had it not been for the reroute on Taysom Hill trying to come across the field in that jet motion, and then Grady Jarrett just unloading on him. Look at Grady, sees it, and then boom! Purposely just throw. This turned into a Grady Jarrett highlight, but not meaning to. It just kind of is. All right, there's one more run. But we basically started leaving the run at this point because, the score and everything else that was going on in the game. Anyway, all of this was just to talk about how the game has gotten better for the Saints and how the offense should get better just from this element. It's not a direct improvement to the passing game, but it should have improvement to the passing game effect based on what is actually going down. At the end of the day, the Saints offense has got to get clicking. And I think this helps them get clicking. I think this helps them be better. And I think that it helps them win on the road better, especially when you got a new quarterback again in Trevor Siemian. But we'll see how it plays out as it goes down the road. Right now, though, if I'm a Saints fan, loving the look of the run game. Hopefully that translates to more W's and everything else. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe down below if you haven't already. Share this out with other Saints fans. And who dat? God bless. We'll catch you on the next one.